All right, yeah, Coach. Opening game coming up for U of H. Yeah, what's the keys to stopping them? Like, what do they do best?
Well, that's a great question. We're kind of going in this one a little bit blind. They've got three new coordinators, offense, defense, special teams. So we're watching a bunch of film from a bunch of different teams, and from a schematic standpoint, and also from a personnel standpoint, they've got quite a few new transfers, and so that's name of the game now, I guess, in college football. And these first games are kind of funny because none of these players have ever played at said university, so you're having to pull film from here, here, and here just to see who the personnel is. And now we're having to do that also, obviously with the coordinator situation. So a little bit hard to tell. I think there'll be a lot of figuring them out those first maybe that first quarter, first half, and hopefully we can get a beat on them and get things rolling.
Does that perspective kind of work in your favor a little bit? Reverse though, I mean.
Oh, I think it's does not work in our favor. They've got film on us,
Right.
and we're rolling to year three with our defense, and year two with their offense. So they've got a little bit of an advantage there from a scouting standpoint, and they do a great job with that crew does, and scouting and signals and everything else. I mean, we do have the helmet to. Player communication. This will be the first game that we've ever done that. It's a new rule for us at the FCS level. So, we're a year behind in that. We've been trying to figure out, what are all the advantages, disadvantages, quirks and issues that go along with that piece of the game. And everybody at the FBS has been doing that now for a full year. And so that'll be new for us as well.
Do you prefer being the favorites or underdogs to fly under the radar?
I like having more points than the other team when the game's over. All that favorites. I mean, who's that really doesn't. It's kind of like preseason rankings.
Right.
They really don't mean anything. You're just going to tee the ball up, and two teams going to play and do the best you can, and hopefully get better through the game. And if you're an underdog, then I guess you make somebody happy out there that took the underdog. I don't know. I don't think I'm allowed to talk about betting, but so underdog, favorite. I don't know. We're just this a fun challenge for us. I mean, I don't. It's tough at this level to go play those games. There's not a lot of benefit other than the check you get in playing a game because you are so outgunned, outmatched, outspent. I mean, the amount of money. I mean, you just look at NIL budgets and the revenue share. They're at $20.5 million, and we're going to pass the hat around. So it's not a fair fight, but you do it, and but they're going to keep score, and right. So we'll get out there and swing for the fence. Our guys are excited. We chose this game, or set this game up a couple years ago so we could play in Houston. There's a great alumni base. A lot of our players are from Houston, and so there'll be a bunch of Lumberjacks fired up in the stands and on the field, and hopefully, number one goal for us is to get out of that game healthy. I think we've got a chance to have a really good football team. If we can reach our potential is to be the best version of the 2025 Lumberjacks we can be, and we need everybody healthy to do that. So this game does not matter from a standpoint of playoffs and our season and what we're doing. This is a money game. It is what it is. We're going to go out there and try to get better from the kickoff to the final whistle, and then our real season starts the following week out at Abilene Christian.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about the one question I was going to ask is obviously, going into a game you want to win it, but at the end of the day, still going up against a Power 4 school. Just what are you looking to take out of this game?
You know what? Again, just number one, be healthy. Number two, see who we are. I think it'll be a measuring stick. Maybe not an even measuring stick, but you can kind of see everything happen in real life. We've done game day simulations. We've done game scripts and everything, but until you tee it up and play against an opponent and really see and then learn how to make in-game adjustments. We've got new players as well and some new coaches on staff, and so we've got to learn throughout the game. We've got to get better as a staff, as a team, as players. Just from 7 o'clock to 9:45, 10 o'clock, whenever the game is over, and I think if we do that, we can hold our head high and feel good about what we did and the performance we had on the field. And scores usually take care of themselves and everything. But that's what I'm looking for us to do, is stay healthy and get better over those 3 hours down in Houston.
Yeah, and something else you talked about was the first year of intercoms at the FCS level. How's the preparation been with that?
Well, it's been interesting, and having to figure out which buttons to push and everything else. And Sam Bidlack, he told me the other day, he's like, it's so hilarious here, and Coach Ross, and so there's been some chuckles and some funny moments and everything, but it's kind of cool, and because it is new and you've seen it done in the NFL and now FBS, and now we're doing it here. So I think that will help. A little bit of the sign stealing and everything that goes on, or that used to go on in college football. Everybody hears about the Michigan and all that drama from a couple years ago. So I'm sure there's still a little bit of it, but I think it really cuts down on that and allows you to, just really settle it on the field.
Yeah, and then you talked about Sam Bidlack. Obviously, the back half of the last couple games of the season was out. Something we talked about, before, him health-wise, and then just heading into this season. What are you expecting from him?
Hoping that he can pick up right where he left off. He had a terrific year last year. I think was on pace to be an All-American. He was leading the nation in passing touchdowns, passing efficiency, and just had a really fun year. And it was unfortunate wasn't able to finish. So he looks great out there, and he's fired up. And he's got his cast of characters that surrounds him is pretty much back and intact. And so. I think there's a lot more continuity on that side of the football, and again, going into, we were rolling into this week last year, we had no clue who we were. We didn't know who our quarterback was. We didn't know what our coordinator was going to be about, what our offense was going to be, and I think, when Sam went down, we had the number one scoring offense in the country. And so I think deep down in the locker room, they know what they're capable of, and it's got to go out there and prove it, this year with what we've got. But I think we're better up front, and those guys have done a good job. Coach Graff, and we've got some great depth there in the running back room with some very talented players and wide receivers as well. So Sam's just got to deliver the mail and watch him go. So he's looking forward to this season and excited to be back out there.
And obviously he's a dad now. He's got a son. Where do you expect Mason to be in the starting lineup?
Well, and that would be in the year, I should know this already. What do we think, about 2044? I'll be sitting here, I'll come in on my walker, and I'll say, Mason Bidlack's going to have a great year this year. So we've already got him signed, but no, they're a neat family, and sure tickled to death. His brother's here now playing for our baseball team, so there's Vidlacks everywhere. And so good family to be a part of and have here in Nacogdoches. So.
And then game prep-wise, I know last week you said last Tuesday was going to be when you guys kind of make that switch from fall camp mode to game prep for Houston mode. How has that transition been for y'all?
It's been really good. Happy Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. It says Monday on my watch, but it's Wednesday for us. And so, tomorrow's our Thursday practice. We go out there and polish. And that's what, we talked about today. We've got to get better each and every day. We've got a game, in 3 days, but we're still behind from where we want to be and what this team wants to accomplish, and we're chasing, greatness and where some other teams and programs are. We know we're not there yet, and so that's important for us to get better each and every game. Like we talked about, getting better during the game on Thursday night, and then let's get better week 1 to week 2, and just keep stacking days, stacking games, stacking weeks, and I think we'll look up and be really proud of what we've been able to do and accomplish this season.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Coach.
Axum Jacks.